going to do this evening, at least I'm filming it this evening, you're doing it whenever you like, is a complete practice. So we're going to do all the spinal movements and then all the major joint movements. Beginning by making ourselves really comfortable. So if, like me, your feet aren't really comfortably reaching the ground, get some books. In my case, I have yoga blocks. Put them under your feet and then make sure you're really comfortable on your chair. And that might mean later on getting a cushion behind your back, but maybe not yet, because the first thing we're going to do is stretch the back. So you could link the fingers, but you don't have to. And then you're going to lift the arms as far as they'll go. Maybe look up and then lengthen up. Breathe and stretch right through. Or you could lean against the chair if that's nice for you. Just finding the level that is comfortable and interesting and useful for you. And then come back up to vertical again. Hello, Charlie. Charlie loves yoga. And then come down into a forward bend, and you can use your forward bend to stroke your cat at the same time. And then as far as it's okay for you. So I know I'm not going to be dizzy today. I can let my head hang. And really let the back stretch out. Breathe while you're down there. And then up come again. Unravel your spine. Oh. My favourite next, we're going to do the twists. So don't worry if the knees move, if the hips move on the chair, that is completely fine. But turning around, you can move the chair, you can move the arms around the chair. See how far it's okay for you to look round to the side or even all the way behind you. You could just breathe into it, or if you're like me, you could really breathe out and even push round. Just as long as that feels all right for you. So in all the cases, whatever movement feels it's okay for you. And then back in the other direction. Could be just to the side, could be all the way behind you. Some parts of the spine move more than others. So some parts will feel relatively locked. You can wriggle into them in that case. And just see what happens. And back to the middle again. Next, be very careful not to fall off your chair. But lift one arm, reach up, and then as far as it's nice and safe for you, bring that arm over into a side bend. You can support yourself with this arm, or if you're sure you're not going to fall off your chair, you can let that arm hang. Breathe. Back up again. Bring that arm down. Second side, up. You could look up along the arm if you like, or you can look forward. And all of these, as you go over, you might let this shoulder come further forward. You might let that shoulder lift more. You could possibly use your chair to lean on. So many variations. Breathe. And back up again. And those are the 6 spinal movements that we're going to do today. That's all it is. Back, forward, twist, twist, side, side, 6. Now we come to the joint movement exercise. Nice to see how you feel before you begin this, because as you go, the feeling may change. Particularly, you might warm up, or you might find that your temperature evens up. So for instance, at the moment my toes are freezing, but the centre of my body is really warm. And even places like where my palms are resting on the knees, those are warm. But the tops of my hands are cold. So we'll see if we might warm up all through the body as we go through. Beginning with the toes of the right foot, bring your attention there. You can bring the foot forward. If you're tired, the foot can stay down and your cat will be pleased. If you have more energy and you're stronger, the foot can come up. And then you try to match the breath with movement. So you might breathe in and stretch the toes apart. Breathe out and curl them, like making them into fists. And you're trying just to move the toes, because we'll come to the ankles in a minute. Bring that down. Notice if it's already starting to feel a little bit different. Bring the next one up. Breathe in and stretch. Out and curl. I often close my eyes when I'm doing this. I find personally I can feel it better and it just feels more relaxing. Matching the breath with the movement if you can. I'm not very good at counting. If you're good at counting, you can do exactly the same number of each one. I forgot to make myself more comfortable with my cushion before I started. This chair's not brilliantly comfortable, so what I can do is get the cushion to support me there. So you make sure you're as comfortable as you can possibly be. And then we're going to come back to the right side and we're going to do the ankle. Going to bring the foot up. Again, the heel could stay down that way, or it can come all the way up, in as they go away, out as they come towards you, probably. Breathing in, breathing out. And switch. And we're thinking mainly about the ankle here, but actually a huge amount happens in the calf, for instance, in the shin, maybe in the knee. So you can notice all the different places as you match the breath with the movement. In this way, out this way most likely. And once you've learnt these, you can do them at any time. So you can do them really quickly and you can do them really slowly, resting in between and adding in extra. We're coming back to the right side now to make the circle with the toes. And the knee can be bent or straight. If you have the legs straight, you'll get the movement all the way up to the thigh, to the hip. And if you have the knee bent, the movement will stay down below the knee, or will stop at the knee. And circling in both directions, see if you can find a way to match the breath. And then left side. My ankles are particularly noisy. If your joints are noisy, please don't worry about that unless you realise that it is movement is associated with some pain. In which case, investigate that, and one thing that you can do is make the movement smaller. So we're taking the movements into the ranges of motion, but just in a comfortable way. Then for the next bits, what I'm going to do is move my right block out of the way and move the left block a bit further over to the left. And we're going to start to move the knees. So I'm going to hold my right leg, breathe in and stretch that as far as I can, and then breathe out and curl it as much as I can, really squeezing it in. Breathe in and stretch, out and curl. And I'm going to change sides with that. In and stretch, out and curl. The next one doesn't suit everybody. So, this next little group, if any of these don't suit you, then leave them out. You could spend the time visualizing the movement, and that really does have an effect as well. Or you could just sit and rest till the next bit comes around that suits you. So this one, the lower leg is dangling, and then you make a circle with it, a nice relaxed circle. You can stroke your cat at the same time. So it goes one way and then the other. There. And shift the block or book over to do the other side. Not everybody rests their feet on a block or book, you don't need to, and it does make this bit a little bit more complicated, but it can really help. Sometimes I do all the circles in one direction and then all the circles in the other, and sometimes like this I change sides a little bit more often. There, one more little bit. As I say, this doesn't suit everybody, just see if it's one that you like. And we're coming back to the right side again. And I'm shuffling a bit further forward towards the front of my chair for these ones. I like to be further forward for these ones, but you can stay towards the back of the chair. Pick the right knee up, breathing in, you bring it out to the side, could be the other way around, and then change hands, pull a little bit across the centre. I love this stretch around here. Not everybody likes that, you don't have to do that much of the movement if it doesn't suit you. And sometimes I do fewer of these big movements as we come up here, because these are also involving body strength, which is good, but can be tiring, because legs are heavy. Got the long heavy bones of the legs, the long heavy muscles of the legs. So this whole sequence, it's for circulation, as I was saying, and it will help you to warm up. It's for strength, especially this part, and it's for mobility of the joints and for joint health. And then bring the left foot down, again make space on the right. This is the last of the lower body things. I sit really at the front of my chair for this to make a big circle with the hip here. Again, matching the breath some way that works for you. And you might want to do fewer circles on this because again, you've got the whole heavy weight of the leg, but it's a good strength part. And then change direction when you're ready. Okay, Charlie really loves these bits. If you do have a cat or dog to help you with your yoga, that was always excellent. Swap legs to make the last of the lower body ones. Circle one way. And then the other. Okay. And then we're going to come to the upper body. So again, make yourself as comfortable as you can possibly be. You might want to come back to the back of the chair again, resettle. If you've got a cushion, you can do these sitting, it's great if you're sitting on an upright chair, but you can also do them on a sofa, anything like that. We're going to do the lower body ones together. Notice how your hands are feeling now. And then lift both hands, breathe in and stretch the fingers out and curl them. And alternate whether you're wrapping the thumbs around the outside or whether you are squeezing the thumbs. And then the next bit is a little bit different. It's flicking the fingers. And if you can, you go up and down, flicking each finger out from under the thumbs. You can go at different speeds. I find it much, much easier on my left than my right. And then also flicking the thumbs out from under the fingers. And sometimes I find it's easier if I look at them. Sometimes I close my eyes just to see how it feels. And then see how the hands are feeling. You can often feel that you've been working on them. You can feel the strength movement there. And then we're going to come to the wrists. In this way, out this way, back and forward. And then I'm going to go straight into the other wrist thing, which of course is circling. sorts of movements in the lower arms too, of course, one way and the other. And then next is the elbows, noticing how the elbows feel now. And then getting ready to move the elbows. Bring the arms out straight. As you breathe, I usually breathe in this way, and then out this way, bringing the palms to the shoulders. In, straightening. Turn the hands. Bring the backs of the hands to the shoulders. My student Lynn added this movement to the class, reminding us that it's not just this that the elbows do, but they do this as well. And then I just discovered last term there's another thing that they do, which is the royal wave movement. I'm not sure if it's exactly what the royals do, but I think it's quite similar. So you hold the right arm with the left hand, keep it steady, circle one way and then circle the other. And then change sides. One way and the other. Come to rest. And then last of all, the shoulders. Notice how your shoulders are feeling now. Very often they feel as if they would love to move. Drop the hands over the sides of the chair. Feel the arms heavy. Breathe in. See if you get them right up to the shoulders. Breathe out and drop. And you can sigh them down if that's nice for you. One more. And then last of all, circling the shoulders, making the biggest circles you can make with the elbows, with the fingertips on the shoulders. One way and the other. And then that is it for the joint movement sequence. So we've done all the movements of the spine and we've looked at all the major joints. Stop and see how you feel, see if the temperatures are evened up, see how the joints feel. This is a fabulous sequence to do every day. Thank you.